Hi Ron, Chris here, and I'm back with a Dreamy Robot vacuum. 2-in-1 mopping, and it can do your hard floors or your carpet vacuum. Very, very similar, this robot vacuum, to the L10 Pro that I have reviewed. But the Z10 Pro here now has the auto empty station. The capacity of this one is 4 liters. So all the waste is going to go right here into a bag that is removable, of course. You do need to replace those, and that just means, of course, you don't have to empty it. Well, you can set it up normally like you would another robot vacuum or the L10 Pro model, open it up and then simply remove the dustbin. So this model here has a runtime of 2.5 hours. Suction performance is 4000 PA, and what it can do is mop as well, just like the L10 Pro. In the box, you'll find a grey EU plug. That is the EU model, of course, that I have. Here is our mop, so you can see it's a lot smaller than what we have with the L10 Pro model. In fact, we're missing this whole section right here. That is because of where it sucks out from the vacuum itself. So they had to make some compromises there in the design. It comes with a microfiber cloth, which is, of course, a little smaller now. And we do get a spare 4-liter dust bag here for that empty station. And this, of course, is the big new addition here, the auto empty station. The capacity 4 liters. It can hold up to, they claim, 65 days, but it really depends on your household. Down here in the bottom, that is where it docks and charges the Z10 Pro right there. And you can see that those 2 little ports there, well, that is where it is going to suck out the contents of the dustbin of the vacuum itself. The plastics and the build quality are very good, just like the robot vacuum itself. You see we've got a status LED right here, and this simply just lifts up. There's a rubber seal around it to, of course, seal it that when it's sucking out the contents. And here there is a little safety on here, so it will not actually close down at all, this lid, until it detects or you've got that bag slotted in. So when you remove the bags, it actually seals it all in one go, and it comes out just like that. So there's going to be no dust or mess, and you simply throw that in the rubbish bin. But of course it does mean we have disposable bags that you do need to purchase. Now if you did see my coverage of the L10 Pro from Dreamy, this really is the identical vacuum here. 360-degree LiDAR mapping right here. We've got our spot clean button, power and home. Now if you lift this right up, we then get access to that 400 milliliter dustbin you see right here. So that just comes right out. And then inside we have the filter, so you can empty this out. You don't have to use the station all the time. For example, if you ran out of bags, then that means you aren't stranded. You can still use the vacuum. Right here is our tool for cleaning. It has the little knife in there for cutting out hairs from the main brush. And then on the underside here, our 2 charging contacts. We've got a 360-degree wheel that you can remove to clean any hair out of it. Downward firing sensors, so 2 there, 2 here, and another 2 on this side. So that detects if there is a fall. For example, it could go down the stairs, but it'll stop it from doing that. It detects that when it pings back that information. 2 suspended wheels right here, so that can tackle climbs of 1 centimeter with tiny little razors in your different floor levels. And the main brush, very important, this is suspended, so that means it's not fixed. It moves up and down. And this vacuum handles carpets really well, just like the L10 Pro. But the difference between this and the L10 Pro is this right here, of course. So the 2 holes there, this is where it's going to suck out the contents of that dustbin. And we have a compromise in the design then for the mopping performance. As I mentioned, it's a reduced mopping size, the water tank here. So that's 150 milliliters now. And all of the space right here we're missing out with a much smaller microfiber cloth. The cleaning surface area greatly reduced means that this does not mop as good as the L10 Pro. And exactly like the L10 Pro, it has the front sensor, well, the camera area right here. So 3D precision scanning. It can even detect objects with its AI and help avoid those to not get itself tangled or in trouble. We have another 2 sensors here either side, and this is a bump or slam sensor, they call it. So if it was to press up against a chair leg, it detects that and goes back straight away. So I did take it for a little spin downstairs, and it sounds exactly the same as the L10 Pro. It performs exactly the same, and as mentioned, essentially it is really the same vacuum cleaner. So do refer to that video, my full review of the L10 Pro, on exactly how this is going to perform, how it's going to clean. That's all covered there. And if you want the same vacuum, but you're not fussed about, of course, this base station here, the auto empty station, then it's another model to go for. It's very, very good. So this means that, yes, it can go for weeks on end without you having to touch it or empty it with the base station right here. There are a couple of compromises though. This thing, well, when it empties, is super loud. It's like turning on a normal, say, 1000 watt or 2000 watt vacuum cleaner. So be prepared for that. The other thing is, as I pointed out, the water tank especially has reduced capacity. So instead of being 250 milliliters like we get with the L10 Pro, this model here now with the Z10 Pro is only 150 milliliters. So the mopping capacity has really been severely reduced there because of the compromises, the slight tweak in the design to allow this to dock with the station to empty the contents of the dustbin. The dustbin now, so this is down a little bit, okay? This is now 400 milliliters because of the changes that I pointed out where it is going to be emptying it out. So all up, it is a very, very good vacuum cleaner. This is just, of course, my first impressions here, but coming from the L10 Pro that I've reviewed and covered, really the same. So one of the best for the mapping for hard floors. The only real weakness with this one, which is now even a little bit worse, is the mopping performance. I mean, it's just like dragging a microfiber cloth over the floor, but now with an even more reduced capacity, sadly, because of those changes there. So thank you so much for watching this video. And as mentioned, do check out my full review of the L10 Pro from Dreamy, because that then covers exactly what you can expect. Cleaning performance, and as mentioned, it does have a much better mopping capacity.